the AI personal styling app Lumi actually make it easier for us to get up, get dressed, and look and feel fabulous during midlife? Let's find out. I'm Tracy Gold. I'm a personal stylist and designer. I've had over 20 years experience working primarily with women in midlife. And so I wanted to try this out and see what it can do, what it can't do, and if it really lives up to its promises. So this is an honest review. Let's get started. So what is Lumi? Lumi is an AI personal styling app. The basic idea, it asks you questions, and then based on your answers, it will give you recommendations according to your body shape, your personal style, and your coloring, and actually give you outfit ideas that you can shop right in the app. It also helps you develop your personal style over time by giving you a bunch of articles that are relevant to your body shape, personal style, and coloring. So let's see how well this really works. The onboarding is really easy. It takes you through a very simple to follow quiz, asking you questions about your body shape, your lifestyle, what you like to wear, what you don't like to wear, the colors that you like to wear, your natural coloring, etc. Now, this can be completed on either your desktop or your mobile device. So if you're like me and you sometimes feel like, where's my glasses because I can't see anything, then maybe the desktop option will be better for you. One thing I also noticed and really appreciate is that all the images of the women are not 20-year-olds. I don't know about you, but I am so tired of seeing a brand targeting women in midlife and then doing it with 20-somethings. Now I'm gonna break my review into 4 sections. First, I'm gonna talk about body shape, then I'm gonna talk about the coloring, the personal style, and then the outfit recommendations. So let's start with body shape. Okay, now just hear me out because I get it. So many times we've been told, oh, what body shape are you? And to be honest, most of us don't even know. Even as a personal stylist, I don't even work with this framework because I find it often doesn't work very well. But Lumi is doing it better. So when I first started using the Lumi app, it just had that traditional, what is your body shape? And I chose rectangle because the last personal styling app I used told me I was a rectangle when I actually thought I was more of an hourglass. Okay, whatever. Now Lumi has improved the app just in the short time I've been using it, and it gets you to input your measurements. I highly recommend this because this is going to help you a lot. Sometimes the way we see ourselves and what the actual measuring tape says are 2 different things. So I know it might be a little bit of a schlep to get yourself a measuring tape, or you might feel nervous to measure yourself. Go ahead and do it because it's going to be very helpful going forward if you're going to use this app. So inputting my measurements, it said I was an hourglass, and I was like, yay! Now it's going to give you recommendations and articles, and this is where it's extremely helpful because the whole concept of shopping for your body shape is quite elusive in lots of ways, but this gives you some very simple objectives. As an example, it said for both rectangle and for hourglass that defining my waist is the most important thing. I love hearing that because as a personal stylist, I'm always talking about defining your waist. And actually, I think that no matter what your body shape is, defining your waist is the most important. You may do it differently depending on your particular body shape, but it still can make you look taller and slimmer instantly. So I like the fact that they're giving this as an objective and then they have outfit ideas. Now, this is the cool thing. You can actually shop these outfits right in the app. I will say, however, that this is not necessarily going to be according to your personal style or your coloring, but it is a good basis and something to think about going forward. And I'll explain a little bit later in the video what I mean. And the thing that I love the best is that they are showing different sized women within the same body shape category. Yay! Because just because you are a body shape doesn't mean that you are restricted to a size. You could be a very small hourglass. You could be a really curvy hourglass. You're still an hourglass. And that is the case for all the body shapes. So really Very happy to see that. Now let's talk color. So it asks you basic questions. What is your eye color? What is your hair color? What is your skin color? And then it will give you your results. I do find they don't give you your palette right up front. You kind of have to search for it a little bit. It will give you 3 basic recommendations, and maybe this is also so that it doesn't overwhelm you right off the bat, but do go through some of the articles and find your best color palettes. This showed me my color palette. Now, I will say as a personal stylist, I am not a huge fan of the color analysis method. I just find it very limiting, and I think a lot depends on who you want to be in the world and how you want to express yourself. And what I also find very interesting is that they almost always call me a bright spring, and then they say yellow is one of my best colors. Yellow is one of the hardest colors for me to wear. But it was very interesting when I looked at these little drop-down menus. It does say things like bright, warm, clear colors work for me. Clear coral, warm red, turquoise, sunny yellow. No! Fresh green, those are good. But then it says skip dusty and muted colors. Now, I feel like I could wear dusty and muted colors, but because of my personality, they don't really speak of who I am. So I think you have to take this as a basic guideline. When I look at some of the outfit recommendations, you know, only one of the palettes did I really like. So what I think this is really good for, if you are starting on color, if you have never used color before and you want to dip your toe, this is a great way to get you started. The articles I also like because although they give you a basic framework to work from, they also teach you how to break the rules. Yay! I love breaking style rules because I don't really believe in rules, right? So this is going to say, well, if you want to wear a color that you love, but it isn't your best color, how do you wear it? How do you break the rules well? This speaks to my sensibilities. Now let's talk about their style profiling. So it will take you through a quiz, ask you what you like to wear, what you don't like to wear. Do you like this rather than that? And at first, when I did it, it said I was a creative. Then the app got updated because they're constantly working on the app to improve it, which is a good thing. And then it said I like sexy. And I was like, no, I'm kind of somewhere in between the two, so I switched it out. And this is the good thing. If something doesn't feel right to you, if the color palette doesn't feel right to you, if the body shape doesn't feel right to you, you can just manually shift it and change it to suit what works for you. So sometimes that's where you need to use your own intuition, but it's a great guideline. So for the creative style profile, it said that I should play with color, play with prints, and add some sculptural pieces. Spot on. I completely agree with that. It's playing texture, it's playing print, it's playing color. However, I find the outfit ideas a little safe. Now, that also could be because I am a stylist and a designer, and I am pretty way out with my own personal style. So I think that sometimes because they are catering for a lot of women and they're trying to do so, they will add classic items with a fun play here or there. So again, I think you need to use this just as a basic idea, and then you can shop your own pieces that really speak to you and work best for you. Again, there's going to be some helpful articles, give you some ideas of how to play with your style, how to add sculptural pieces, how to add some color. And I really like this. They also update those articles very frequently, so you can be on a constant learning. The other thing that I've noticed about this particular app is that you can book a personal styling session with a real person. This is important because these are basic frameworks, but when it comes to really individualizing them, it's not going to do it on its own. Now, you can actually book a styling session once you get to a certain level in the app. However, in order to book a personal styling session with a real person, you're going to need to utilize the app and really engage with it to gain points. And once you get to that higher level, then that option opens up to you. Now let's talk about the personalized shopping suggestions. I really like this because this can save you A ton of time. I mean, how many times have you just gone and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled on an e-commerce website to try and find things that suit your body shape, your coloring, your personal style, to get them home? You hope they fit, and even if they fit, do they all work together? That is often the challenge. Plus, you sometimes have to buy things from all different kind of stores. Now, what I like is that it's all shoppable in this app. I will say, however, I didn't purchase anything from the app, so I cannot speak on the real user experience, but I think the concept is pretty cool. Also, what I really like is that you can set your own budget. So other apps I've seen have been very focused on fast fashion. I personally am not a huge fan of fast fashion for all the reasons that I'm not. However, this allows you to set the brands that you like, the budget that you like, and it will make relevant suggestions. I even found some things from stores that I've never even heard of. So I feel like this is a great feature on the app. Now, does it work all cohesively together? Do your shopping suggestions speak to your body shape, your coloring, and your personal style? This is where I feel like it could improve. And let me just say, I've experienced Lumi improving their app like every week almost. So by the time you try it out, it could be working perfectly together. But as it stands, I feel like this is an area that needs a bit of work. So as an example, for my body shape, it talks about defining your waist, and that's your main objective, which is great, but there's a lot of black in there. And I'm like, black's not my best. When it comes to my personal style profile of creative, sometimes also it could be seen as, oh, this works for a creative profile, but it doesn't really work with my body shape objectives. That being said, again, it's improving all the time. So who is this good for? This is really good if you are just starting out on your personal style journey. If everything has changed and you want to just dip your toe, this is going to be fabulous for you. If you are the kind of person who is struggling with shopping and really want some shopping suggestions that are maybe out of just the normal places you go shopping, this could also work well for you. And if you are the person who really struggles to see outfits together, this is great because it will show you outfits put together and you can shop those exact outfits. So this is my take with 20 years of experience as a personal stylist and a designer. I really appreciate what Lumi is doing. I think it's a great and accessible starting off point. But for me as a stylist, I don't work with frameworks. I find that women in midlife are ready to chuck the frameworks and find what really works for ourselves. So for me, I work with how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your body shape? How do you want to be seen in the world? And what image do you really want to portray? Now, Lumi will give you that great starting off point. It'll maybe let you dip your toe in styles you would have never thought of, maybe some colors you never thought of, and hopefully have a little bit of fun doing it. So if you want to try Lumi, I'll put the details in the description box below. For tips from a real human, subscribe to this channel. I'll see you soon, girlfriend.